up, everybody? And what's up, Sussex Squad? Y'all, wake up. It is Christmas in November. Y'all, do you know that the UK press is dragging William and Charles all up and down the street? But do you know that they have finally been exposed in a scandal that is sweeping the island of the United Kingdom? Do you know that they have finally been caught up in something and they can't blame this on Meghan or Harry? And I'm surprised that the UK media is even picking up on this, but we got to talk about it. Do you know that they've been exposed as slumlords? Mr. Earthshot Prize, Mr. Save the Rhinos, I'm the sexiest bald man around, Lord Baltimore, has been exposed for robbing his tenants by giving them subpar housing that many say is largely illegal. You guys, I believe it was either ITV or Sky News did a deep expose on it. The findings were remarkable, but what's even more crazy is that the UK media is actually picking up on this, and the royals are largely silent. This is one of the biggest scandals they've ever been involved in. It's one of the most disgusting scandals. It shows that they are truly a feudal society, and this is where their years of laziness and pettiness and focusing on trying to take down Harry and Meghan literally took their eye off the proverbial ball, which the queen knew, which is to brainwash and gaslight the public into thinking that they are valued, they are important, and they care. See, that's the thing. William and Charles didn't realize that's your job. You guys are POSs. You are historically POSs. Every ism, every obia you guys possess. And guess what? You got the nerve to be going after Meghan and Harry when your house wasn't in order, of course. But guess what, baby? I don't know how this happened. Me thinks maybe Camilla has something to do with it, but then they're throwing Charles underneath the bus too. Let's get into this because this is stuttering. Listen, I'm sorry. So this was Channel 4. Channel 4 says the royals make millions in profit each year, but this has always been shrouded in secrecy until now. A joint Channel 4 dispatches and the Times investigation reveals that the King and Prince William are receiving public money through leasing property at crazy expensive rates to public services like the NHS. Now, when I first read that, this is off of their Twitter, I said, this could be an interesting scandal, right, for the royals. Because even though, I'll be honest with you, the UK people kind of seem to expect this stuff and don't act for much from them, right? But then they get even more. Michael Walsh on Twitter said, turns out Prince William, who's just launched a big PR campaign to end homelessness, personally owns over 600 properties, which he rents out and makes tens of millions of dollars a year, 30 million exactly, while his own tenants are living in molding, freezing conditions with no central heat, no radiators. They have to still heat their houses with coal and fire. There's black mold everywhere because the windows aren't even double paned. They're single pane because the king used to be, the king now doesn't like double pane windows, but also to fix one house, to bring it up to code so it can actually rent out and give them their money's worth, which is a safe, affordable, clean housing, will be $3,500 a unit. And do you know that William, the billionaire that makes 30 million a year, is refusing to pay that money because they said it would be an inordinate expense while they're getting tax breaks and while they get all these special privileges? Oh, I'm not done. Right? Because it's crazy just how much the UK still basically lives in a feudal system to this day, because this is literally modern day feudalism, right? I'm shocked the UK press is even covering this. Literally, the Mirror is covering this up. It says scandal of Williams' moldy, hard to heat royal tenant units. Now, listen, let me just say this. You know who I think is involved in this? Camilla. I think Charles was mad that his Australian tour went out in a dump and William got a documentary through HBO. And he's mad at the prospect that William might even get any good press. Spoiler alert, he won't. He didn't. But I believe that Camilla released this because he is no longer Duchy of Cornwall. Charles isn't. Now this is William's responsibility, and it's William's responsibility to fix. So while Charles might get a little bit of flack, people are going to look at William and say, how are you ending homeless? How are you about the earth child? How are you about all this when at the end of the day, you refuse to give your tenants a basic livable area. I mean, it is what it is. This is diabolical. This is Camilla. Why do I think this is payback? Because let's not forget that there were a bunch of articles about William saying that Camilla's family is not welcome. And if Camilla's family comes to Sandringham, he's not coming. And neither is Kate. They're trying to set up two rival courts. Camilla did not appreciate William talking trash about her son, saying basically her son is low life trash. They don't get along. It's funny that after William tried to make a ruckus of that and start reminding people that Camilla like literally laid on her back to get her current position. I mean, did she not? She is Charles's mistress, turned lover, turned girlfriend, turned wife. Good job. Now and all of a sudden, this is talking about the way William and this steps on his Earthshot Prize, which is happening on the 6th, and it steps on that whole homeless documentary he just did. And it rips his homeless campaign out of his hands because you can't ever speak on definitively when you are exposed as a real life slumlord, a real life. You can't make this up. The royal family has been exposed. Illy Lily from Philly said, you literally cannot make this up. The royal family exposed as one of the country's worst slumlords. Like they don't even provide heat to their properties and makes tens of millions of dollars off the property. This is also Politics UK tweeted, Raking, the King and Prince William are using their estates largely seized by medieval monarchs for tax-free deals with government departments to maintain their wealth. The King will charge a London NHS trust over 11 million in 15 years for ambulance parking at the Duchy of Cornwall. Ambulance parking, right? At the Duchy warehouse, while the Ministry of Justice pays 1.5 million a year to William's Duchy for Dartmoor Prison. The Royals also charge for crossing rivers, offloading cargo, running cable under beaches, operating schools and charities, and even digging graves. This is modern day feudal society. They truly believe that they are kings and they are taxing the very people that, on top of taking tax money, they're also taxing them and charging them for even using the property that is theirs. Y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. Um, Again, they said in a major investigation by the Sunday Times and Channel 4 Dispatch, all 5,410 land holdings and properties held by the royal duchies are revealed. Parliament has been denied access to this list of land holdings held by royals. Woo, we got to watch this documentary. A Duchy of Lancaster spokesperson said the Duchy of Lancaster operates as a commercial company managing a broad range of land and property assets across England and Wales. It complies with all relevant UK legislation and regulatory standards applicable to its range of businesses. While His Majesty the King takes a close interest in the work of the Duchy, the day-to-day management of the portfolio is the responsibility of the council and executive team. This is your team. You hired them. All profits go to you. You're the business owner, Charles. The financial and environmental performance of the Duchy is disclosed each year in our published report, and it is lacking, and accounts which are independently audited and freely available at the Duchy of Lancaster website. The Duchy has made a number of key environmental improvements in recent years, delivering significant increase in the number of A plus, B, and EPC ratings awarded to our properties as a result of refurbishment and restoration. They said, yeah, but what you're trying to say is the number of A might have increased and AA plus, but they were all pretty much at F. And to even get to raise, that could be one, that could be two. They are slumlords, y'all. They said Prince William became the Duke of, they said the Duchy of Cornwall. Cornwall is a private estate with a commercial imperative, which we achieve alongside our commitment to restoring the natural environment and generating positive social impact for our communities. Is that how you're helping the natural environment, by not doing construction or giving your people heat? The Prince William became the Duke of Cornwall in September 2022, and since then is committed to the expansive transformation of the duchy. This includes a significant investment to make the estate net zero by the end of 2032, as well as establishing targeted mental health support for our tenants and working with local partners to help tackle homelessness. Y'all, listen, Black Dog Nick 82, except their ancestors, and that's a big stretch in itself, raped and pillaged their way into ownership. Again, Heather said the government should put a windfall tax on it. Um, Listen, they say, yeah, but they only exist at all because the royals helped themselves. This is what are you like? Help themselves to a ton of land in feudal times. And here we are in 2024, still paying them millions to use it. Amazing how these people can be of the state when they want to, but not of the state when the money's in. Listen, they said, does the Duchy of Lancaster insist its contractors pay minimum wage and London minimum wage? If not, why not? But do they pay taxes on their earnings? Neither the duchy have confirmed if they do or don't. William actually refused to release his taxes. I think he's saying that it doesn't, right? Again, this is what William gets. When you are lazy, when you do the bare minimum, this is what happens. People remember, and people don't want to give you any grace for being slumlords. Okay. Again, the queen understood that you had to at least put on this pomp and circumstance. William just thinks everybody's going to kiss them Pete. Just Call Me Val said, if the duchy operates as a commercial company, then it should at the very least pay corporation tax. Also, they've been shown to be slum landlords and should be prosecuted as such. The hashtag abolish the monarchy is trending. Um, uh, Again, they said, and then there's Willie's moldy and damp rented accommodations, which I'm sure are unhealthy for those that live in it. Again, you guys, iLogic said, while I supported the royal family before, I'm now fully against it. Crumbling businesses are paying huge amounts of tax compared to their incomes, while the king and his son pay nothing on billions, charge charities, and are basically taking the piss because of stolen land. Um, Listen, they said the king is not sovereign in the Duchy of Cornwall. Prince William is by right of Cornwall, so it is not government governed by Parliament. Again, you guys, Twitter is going crazy over this as they should, right? Again, I have to wonder what made the press turn on them. The UK Mirror did a scathing write up saying the scandal of Prince William's moldy, hard to heat royal rentals that don't meet standards. Again, I think Camilla did this. It's over 600 rentals. They said, we found some of his tenants are at risk of fuel poverty, living in hard to heat homes that are riddled with damp and black mold. Our investigation with Channel 4 dispatches has found that as many as 1 in 7 of Williams' inherited Duchy of Cornwall's residential rental properties had the lowest energy performance certificate ratings F or G. It comes as a taxpayer is funding it comes as taxpayers are funding 369 million pound renovation of Buckingham Palace, and Prince William launches his campaign against homelessness and for everyone having a right to have a safe and stable home. The slick PR will stick in the throat of many tenants. He should start by bringing the homes he already owns up to modern standards. He has more than 600 rental properties, and over a 15-month investigation, they identified nearly 500 of them. We found 50 duchy properties rated F and 20 rated G, including 6 properties with the lowest EPC score of 1 out of 100. We spoke to a number of tenants on the condition of anonymity who are living in cold, poorly insulated homes, often without central heating, and many relying on the most expensive solid fuels for heat. It has been illegal since 2020 for landlords to rent out properties that are rated below an E under the minimum energy efficient standards regulations without a valid exemption. Since the new rules, William and Charles have between them nearly received 91 million in profits from the duchy. One tenant with no central heating spends hundreds of pounds a month on coal and wood to heat just 2 rooms in his house. He says it gets miserably cold, especially in the winter. You can see through the roof. I can only heat 2 rooms in my home using a wood burner and a coal fire. And the landlord told me that my rent was going to be put up considerably if they put in radiators. He claims there is mold appearing on soft furnishings and clothes because the air is so cold and damp. To make my property efficient, it needs to be insulated, but they won't do that because of the cost. But you don't want to say anything against your landlord for fear of eviction. There could be consequences. Another person said the house is freezing. We were told that it is uninhabitable. When the wind blows, the curtains start swinging. There's no heating upstairs. I asked about double glazing, and the prince said they don't like that at all. Well, he doesn't have to live here. The house is cold and it is a struggle, but there is nowhere else to live. They are not good landlords. You guys, they've been exposed as slumlords. What now? How are they going to blame this on Harry? How are they going to blame this on Meghan? What are they going to do? I don't know what caused this. I think this was Camilla in trying to make William look bad to save Charles, and it spun out of control. But this is who they are, and this is the face of who they are. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.